Welcome back to the program. Several African governments have imposed states of emergencies in an effort to stop the spread of COVID-19, and citizens have no choice than to adjust to life in the time of this pandemic.
In cities like Dakar, it's time to get used to a new normal as various African governments this week declared states of emergency amid the coronavirus crisis. Senegal's President Macky Sall has imposed a curfew from 8 p.m. until 6 a.m. and empowered officials to ban public gatherings, close public spaces and limit transport between regions. Another of West Africa's larger economies has also banned people from leaving their homes. How you travel has changed as well. Sindhu Bakayoko is the head of a transport company and says they're taking half the number of travelers to keep people apart.
This bus has 44 seats, but for better security, we take less than half this number in passengers. It's a bus. It's hard to stay 1 meter away from each other. So with fewer passengers, we more or less manage to keep the distance.
But elsewhere on the continent, such efforts at social distancing are not working. In the Democratic Republic of Congo's capital, bus driver Kole says government should cut fuel prices as he now tries to limit his passengers to 10. But with desperate commuters fighting for seats, not all buses are able to stop overcrowding. DRC imposed its state of emergency on Tuesday, closing its borders and banning internal passenger flights and river transport to and from Kinshasa.
The price of garlic, lemon and ginger have significantly risen in Addis Ababa since the outbreak of the coronavirus pandemic. Citizens have continued to rush for the three ingredients, which are a component of a traditional drink believed to help boost the immune system and even cure colds.
The demand for lemon, ginger and garlic at the Atiklit Terra market in Addis Ababa has risen significantly since the outbreak of the coronavirus pandemic. The three ingredients are a component of the traditional drink dawa, meaning medicine in Swahili, and are believed to help boost the immune system and even cure colds.
For sure, this will help me. This is naturally rich in vitamin C and full of natural herbs like lemon, ginger, garlic and honey and seasoning flavors, in addition to these natural herbs. I often use it to recover from the flu, and by the same token, it will certainly help me fight corona as well.
Shoppers at the Atiklit Terra vegetable markets could be seen filling their bags with lemons, ginger and garlic, valued for their potential antimicrobial properties, despite a price hike since the outbreak of COVID-19.
I don't mind spending even more because it is for my health. Your health is more than anything. I came here to buy lemon and garlic because the talk of the price is over-exaggerated in my area.
Others are not as comfortable with the new prices and blame sellers for the hike amid fears of the virus.
Do you know why they have increased the price? It is after the outbreak of the coronavirus. For example, garlic is 160 birr per kilo. It's right here, you can check it. It used to be 60 birr. Lemon was 50. Today, I bought a kilo for 150.
Sellers, however, say they are serving the public by providing produce needed for medical purposes.
You won't see a lemon seller as such now because they're being hunted and arrested, accused of hiking prices. But you shouldn't blame them because the wholesalers have increased the prices. We're not bothered, only about today. We also want to sustain our business in the future.
Africa was slower to feel the impact of the coronavirus than Asia or Europe, but 33 African nations have now reported more than 600 cases, and that's according to the World Health Organization. A growing number of African countries are announcing increasingly restrictive measures to try to halt the spread of the virus, which has infected more than 200,000 people globally and killed nearly 9,000.
Well, Libya's Center for Disease Control has announced the country's first confirmed case of coronavirus. This comes after both the internationally recognized government in Tripoli and the rival administration in the east of the country imposed strict travel measures, shutting their airspace and land borders last week. Libya has been torn by conflict since NATO-backed forces overthrew Muammar Gaddafi in 2011. There have been reports of continued shelling in and around the capital, despite both sides of the conflicts nominally backing an international call for humanitarian ceasefire on the weekend to allow health officials to prepare against the virus. Similarly, Mali has confirmed its first case of coronavirus. Two of its nationals who returned from France on the 12th and 16th of March. The patients are a 49-year-old woman from the capital Bamako and a 62-year-old man living in the western city of Kayet. The government said in a statement now the two were being taken care of by health authorities, and there are fears that the war-torn and poor West African state will struggle to handle an outbreak. Well, an Egyptian supermarket is dedicating 1 hour of shopping a day to the elderly citizens in the country in an effort to protect the vulnerable group from exposure and crowding amid coronavirus concerns. Unlike other countries, Egypt has still not ordered a full lockdown as supermarkets, pharmacies, bakeries and neighborhood corner stores are exempt from closure.
72-year-old Amira hadn't left her house in days, worried of coming into contact with hundreds of panic buyers that flooded supermarkets last week due to the coronavirus pandemic. But thanks to a local supermarket's initiative, the grandmother can now shop after the store offered an hour a day to senior citizens exclusively.
I heard about the seniors only 1 hour and I needed things, so I decided to come today because I had not gone shopping at all.
The virus has hit the elderly the hardest, with health officials and governments warning people to be extra cautious towards the vulnerable group.
We began this initiative because of the virus, because it easily infects older people through contact. During the past period, there was a great overcrowding between customers because everyone was worried, everyone was panicking, hoarding as much as possible, worried about having to stay at home. So we came up with an idea to protect the elderly, to dedicate a time for them to come shop in a manner that is safe, secure, respectful, and humanizing.
Egypt has registered 366 cases of the respiratory disease, including 19 fatalities. In an attempt to curb the spread of the coronavirus, Egypt has shut schools and universities, restricted the number of public sector employees, and grounded flights until the end of March.
Well, that's right. Even as we protect ourselves, we need to protect the vulnerable groups. That's it on the program today. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Layo Adegoke.